Welcome back to Bedtime Stories with Meemaw. Today's story is Bambi. This is a timeless classic, so sit back and enjoy. Early one spring morning, the quiet of the woods was broken by a thumping sound. It was Thumper the rabbit, loudly thumping his foot on a log. Wake up, Thumper cried. The new prince of the forest has been born. The animals all followed Thumper to a thicket where a doe nestled with her sleeping fawn. Congratulations, Owl said to the mother deer. This is a very special day. The mother deer gently nudged the fawn. Wake up, she said. Meet your new friends. The fawn tried to stand on his new legs. Look, he's getting up, Thumper cried, hopping over to watch. Kind of wobbly, isn't he? He remarked. Before long, the fawn was up on all four legs. He peeked through his legs to look at Thumper. What are you going to call him? Thumper asked. I'll call him Bambi, the doe said. Bambi seemed to like his name. Bambi and Thumper soon became best friends. Every day, Thumper taught Bambi something new about the forest. Those are birds, Thumper told Bambi one day. Say, bird. Burr, burr, bird, Bambi shouted, frightening away the little forest creatures. You did it, Thumper laughed. You can talk. Bambi was very proud of himself. He wanted to try again. That's a butterfly, Thumper explained, and those pretty things are flowers. Just then, a little black and white face poked out of the flower patch. Flower, Bambi said. Thumper giggled. That's not a flower. He can call me Flower if he wants to, said the skunk. I don't mind. Spring turned into summer. One warm day, Bambi's mother said, Follow me. We are going to the meadow. What's the meadow? Bambi asked. His mother said, It has grass and room to run, and you can play with some of the other deer there. Thumper told me there were other deer in the forest, but I've never seen any, Bambi said. He couldn't wait to meet them. At the edge of the woods, Bambi could see an open space with waving grass. He was about to run out when his mother stopped him. Bambi, wait. You must always be sure that the meadow is safe before you run out, she told him. The meadow is wide and open, so we have to be very careful. Bambi's mother made sure that the meadow was safe. Then she called Bambi out of hiding. What fun Bambi had at the meadow! He and Thumper chased a frog to a pond. The frog croaked and jumped into the water. Bambi bent down to have a drink of the cool water. He saw another little fawn's face join his in the reflection. Who is this? He wondered. Bambi ran to find his mother. This is Faline, his mother told him. Do you want to play? Faline asked Bambi. He nodded. So the two fawns began chasing each other around the meadow. Bambi and Faline quickly became friends. Suddenly, all became still in the meadow. Bambi and Faline looked up. A strong deer with large antlers was walking slowly toward them. The young prince stared at the great buck. The buck turned his head and looked at Bambi kindly. Then he continued on his way back into the woods. Bambi and his mother watched him go. Who is he? Bambi whispered to his mother. He is your father, Bambi's mother answered, the great prince of the forest. Summer turned into autumn. The days grew shorter, and soon golden leaves began to fall from the trees. The wind swept across the meadow, and the icy water of the stream made Bambi shiver. Winter was coming. Bambi woke up one morning to see the forest had turned white. "What's all this white stuff?" he asked. "It's snow," his mother explained. "Winter has come." Bambi stepped out of his den. Plop! A big pile of snow landed right on his head. "Come on," called Thumper. "Let's go sliding on the stiff water." The two friends hurried to the pond. "Whee!" Thumper laughed as he slid across the ice. Bambi tried to follow him. Crash! Down he fell on the slippery ice. "You have to keep both ends up at the same time," Thumper explained, trying to help. Thumper gave Bambi a push, and the little deer slipped and slid across the pond until he landed right outside Flower's den. Bambi and Thumper wanted the little skunk to play with them. "No, thanks. I'll see you in the spring," Flower said with a yawn. He always slept right through winter. The snow had covered the plants on the ground, and Bambi and the other deer had a hard time finding food. The little fawn didn't like eating the chewy bark from the trees, but there was nothing else to eat. "Winter sure is long," Bambi sighed. He missed the soft green grass. "I think there might be some grass at the meadow," Bambi's mother said. "Let's go and see." Bambi was nibbling some tender grass when his mother raised her head. She sensed there was danger nearby. Suddenly his mother cried, "Run, Bambi, run!" The little fawn heard a thunderous noise as he dashed through the woods to safety. He reached the thicket, but his mother wasn't behind him any longer. "Mother!" he called. Then Bambi's father came out of the forest. "Your mother can't be with you any longer. Now you must be brave. Come, my son," the great prince said. So Bambi followed him into the snowy woods. At last the sun warmed the earth, the flowers bloomed, and the tiny birds began to sing happy songs once more. "Oh my," yawned Owl, "it seems that spring is here again." Bambi and his friends had grown up over the winter. "I suppose you'll all be twitter-pated now that spring is here," Owl told them. "What does that mean?" they asked. "You'll fall in love," Owl said. "Just wait and see." Owl was right. Flower met a pretty girl skunk. Thumper flirted with a sweet girl rabbit. And when Faline saw Bambi, she gave him a big kiss. They were all twitter-pated. Bambi and Faline still liked to go to the meadow together, but instead of playing tag, they walked quietly side by side. One morning, Bambi woke up to a strange smell in the wind. He left Faline and climbed a mountain, where he was met by his father. The two deer saw a stream of smoke rising from the woods below. Fire! Faline woke up and began to search for Bambi. The smell of smoke was stronger now. Suddenly, a group of dogs began to chase her. Faline was trapped by the growling pack of dogs, but then Bambi raced to her rescue. Bambi lowered his head and drove the dogs away with his pointed antlers. "Run, Faline," he shouted. The young doe jumped across the cliffs to safety. Bambi leapt up the cliffs to follow Faline. He reached the other side, but the young prince was hurt. A thick cloud of smoke moved closer and closer. Bambi heard a familiar voice. "Get up, Bambi, the fire is almost here." It was the great prince of the forest. Bambi struggled to his feet. The two deer raced through the forest to escape the terrible fire. Bambi and his father came to the river. Bambi closed his eyes and jumped, soaring over a waterfall. They were safe. All the forest creatures had gathered on an island in the middle of the river. Faline rushed over to Bambi. They sadly watched as the forest burned, but the fire did not destroy the forest completely. By the next spring, the trees were green again. Thump, thump, thump. Thumper was calling the animals of the forest. Come and see, he shouted. Thumper and Flower and their children hurried over to see Faline. By her side, blinking in the sunlight, were 2 tiny fawns. Prince Bambi must be very proud, said Owl. Owl was right once again, for Bambi stood proudly watching over his family as the new great prince of the forest. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story of Bambi. Come back again soon for more stories. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Let your friends and family know about it. And in the meantime, God bless every one of you. Have a wonderful night, and bye for now.